you ready? It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon. We're here for a Kiki here on the Roundtable today. My name is Robert Bannon. You're listening to us on Broadway World, the Broadway Podcast Network, iHeart, Spotify. And if you are a musician, I know 3 chords on the piano. That's the start. If you are a musician and you love music, classical music done with a modern twist by some boss ladies who are ready to show it you and throw it down, well, I have a show for you. The String Queens are here. Millions of streams and views. They have broken the internet with their, I was going to say this interview. They haven't broken this interview yet, but there is still time. And we are going to talk about all the music, how they came to be and what they're trying to do. And to promote, as a teacher, I love teachers and I love people who promote art and education. It changes the world and it saves people's lives. And that's what they're here to talk about. So welcome Dawn, Kendall, and Élise. They are otherwise known as the String Queens.
Woo-hoo! Thanks for having us.
So let me here, Kendall, will you please tell us what do you play?
Yes, so Kendall Isadore, and I'm the violinist in the group.
She's got her hand, she's got to get that hand all the way around there.
You already know. We were just talking about that last week.
Yes. Robert, that bow hand looks very nice.
I studied violin for 1 whole week.
I can tell just from how you just did that.
I never heard uglier sounds in my life than what came out of that violin for that week.
Believe you.
It was not pretty. Dawn, what do you play?
I'm Dawn Johnson, and I am the violist in the String Queens.
Which is like, I have a friend who plays viola on Broadway, and I thought there was only like 4 violists in the whole world because I said, what is the viola? It's kind of like the big brother of the violin.
Precisely.
What made you want to play that?
You know, it's so funny. I actually started on violin and I played for a few years. And then my teacher, when I was in middle school, looked at me and she was like, you have these really long arms. You have this really big personality. I think you're better suited for viola. And I thought it was a punishment because I never practiced violin. And she switched me in the 8th grade and I have not looked back since. It was like the best decision ever.
Meant to be. Élise, tell us what you play.
Hi, Robert. I'm Élise Sharp and I play the cello.
So you talk about big.
Yep, you're right. And it was bigger than me at one point.
So violin, big brother, cello. That's like big mama auntie cello. Now, like, well,
you got it. So they call me auntie too sometimes.
Élise, be honest. I'm not trying to cause drama in the group.
Go ahead, come on.
But when Kendall puts her little violin in her case and walks off the stage, and you're lugging this big thing around, is there ever any tension between you both?
There's no tension, but I must say, when she walks away so quickly and on, I am sitting there a little jealous. And I'm thinking, why did I pick this big instrument? Because it takes me the longest to get out of here. And don't let me forget to put my bow in the case. I have about 10 clasps on my case. So if I forget one thing, I'm now opening it up all over again and putting the bow or whatever I forgot in it. So yes, there's some feelings there, but not against my girls. Just like, what was I thinking?
And we always offer to help. So, we always offer to help. We're always like, what can we do?
I love that so incredible much. And Kendall, I know you all are you all DC people? Is that where you all are from or live or originate?
We're based here. So our group is based here and we've been a group now for a little over 9 years, but we're individually each from different places. So we'll just let everybody share. I'm originally from Houston. I've lived in a lot of other places. I graduated from high school in Indiana 20 years ago. My class reunion is on Saturday. And then I came to DC. So I've been here for 20 years.
Got it.
That's dope. I'm originally from Miami, Florida, 305. And I went Miami, New York City, DC. So I'm a big city girl. I love people. I've been playing viola almost my whole life in string music. And then I met my girls when I moved here to DC and it's been great.
And I am originally from DC, born and raised here in DC. So I'm the home girl.
All right, Élise, DC in the house. I'll take you to Ben's Chili Bowl and I'll have.
Come on. What do you know about Ben's? You better come and talk to me.
I'll come to Ben's Chili Bowl with you for a half smoke and we're going to have the
and the fries. We have to have the fries. Okay.
I love it.
So going back, don't sleep on me, Élise. Okay. Don't let
I'm awake. Look, I'm awake.
Okay. Kendall, how did you, I know you get asked this probably all of the time. How did you all meet? How did this become a thing?
Yes, it's a beautiful story. It starts with Dawn and Élise meeting first. So over 20 years ago, Dawn and Élise were the first to meet, and they met because they were both the principals of their section in a symphony called Soulful Symphony. It was kind of Baltimore based, but it was comprised of like the DC, Maryland, Virginia, amazing, incredible African-American string players, wind players, everybody you could think of, piano, organ, everything, drums, just amazing, and New York City players, and Baltimore players. So everybody coming together. And so they met over 20 years ago. Dawn was a student at Juilliard at the time. So, the New York City folks would come by charter bus and come all the way down, have rehearsals, do amazing concerts. These are some of the most beautiful scores I've ever heard performed. And so they've known each other for a while. It went from professionally sitting near one another and sort of, working on bowings and making sure that we're aligned in this way or that way. And the dynamics too, like, girl, I love your shoes. And oh my God, Élise loved this solo that Dawn performed. And so then it's gushing over one another's playing. And then it's like, hey girl, well, I guess I'll see you at the next gig. And it's just a sisterhood formed. And that was over 20 years ago, like I said. But then Élise and I met on the DC jazz gig scene, right? So sometimes people just put musicians together. They know there's a jazzy cellist or an improvisatory violinist, and they just they literally put Élise and I on gigs together and just said go, play for 2 hours, take a break here and there. And so we met on gigs. I went to Howard and so did Élise, but we went at different times. And so we later found out we knew some of the same people. I was a biology major, she was a music education major, but you're walking in some of the same halls. And so we had that connection, Howard music, playing groovy, soulful music on strings, which was really, it's still a new art form. It really is. And then you have Dawn, who I didn't know of Dawn. I think I maybe seen her on someone's senior recital at Howard, but I didn't know her. And so after I graduated from Howard, I was a teacher. I was a science teacher, like I said, biology, and I taught 2 doors down from her husband, who was the English teacher. So everybody's a grade level teacher. He's the 6th grade English teacher. I'm the 6th grade science teacher. And so we have the same schedule, same prep time, which teachers listening or, reading, they know prep time is sacred for teachers. So we're on our prep time. We're in the teacher's lounge, getting water or whatever. And he's like, Kendall, are you okay? I guess I must have had some crazy look on my face. And, cause I pretty much, I'm smiling or goofing off or whatever. Most of the time my ladies know, like Élise and Dawn know we have a good time. And so Brian goes are you okay? I said, I need a violist for a gig I have coming up. And he's like, oh, well, my wife plays viola. And I'm like, okay, Brian is great sense of humor, great personality, also a teacher who I almost a mentor teacher to me. So I'm yeah, but he's also a jokester. So it's yeah, right, your wife plays viola. And no one says that because, as you said, very few people play the instrument. And so I said, yeah, right. And he's she went to Juilliard, and I just paused him. I was like, can I have her number immediately? I'll give her a call. I hear the credentials. We carpooled to that gig. I picked her up. We went to the gig. It was raining. I had no air conditioner in my 2000 or 99 Beetle. She forgave me about that. We played the music. We had a ball. We talked about everything. And then we became sisters. And then fast forward, Dawn has the final gig that solidifies it. She had a string trio gig for a wedding in DC. We were supposed to have rehearsal. We never rehearsed because we'd never played as a trio before. Yes, Soulful Symphony. I later played a couple gigs with Soulful Symphony many years after they were in the group. We're in the symphony, but never together. You have to rehearse because that's what professionals do. We're supposed to rehearse at Dawn's daughter's first birthday party because that's the only time we had. These are wives and mothers. We're talking about busy lives. We have 2 and 3 jobs, whatever. And so Dawn made binders of sheet music for us to rehearse at the party. The music went with the theme of the party, which is kids music. So Sesame Street theme, Little Einstein's music for us to play, Twinkle Twinkle. We never opened our cases. We were having so much fun. Dawn's family and friends were there. We were meeting new people for the first time, and just having a ball. Played the wedding the next day after no rehearsal, but it's classical repertoire. So we all know the music, and we just had that thing that we felt instantly between us musically, but also just we found our tribe and we found our family. And it has just developed at an exponential rate since then. And it's gone from, yes, these different venues. And now we're touring. We didn't start off touring. And now we have original music. We didn't start off with original music. And we are just so grateful for the journey. So it's a beautiful,
I love this
Beautiful.
story. The music is streaming everywhere, and you can also, while we're talking, you can go to the stringqueens.com. You could see the upcoming.
Yes.
They're on tour. You can go see them around the country, especially this month of August. There's dates. There's dates into September and also in December, and you can find, I'm sure, more dates to come. Dawn, I dropped out of Juilliard. I just want to let you know, at 19, I did. I was
You
in.
know, they say everyone who is anyone actually never graduated from
No,
Juilliard.
that is not true,
They all
Dawn.
dropped out or got kicked out.
That is not true. So drop out before you get kicked out is what I say. For you guys, when you listen to the music that you have out, and there's a great music that's out. Some of it is really fun covers of music that are songs that you don't think of when you think of string music. And then now there's more original music that's coming out. So what makes you pick a cover, or how do you write music for the string queens? What's the process like of when you have new music that comes out?
I think it's a very authentic, personal process. A lot of it comes from the energy that we feel when we're with audiences, when we're working with students. Our original repertoire in the beginning as the String Queens, and yes, they were covers, but it was inspired by our students. Hey, Mrs. Johnson. Hey, Miss Isadore. Hey, Miss Sharp. Can we play the new Cardi B? Like, can we play, all of these new hip hop tunes or R&B tunes? And we allowed them to, and we taught them how to compose their own music in the genres or in the style that they really wanted to do it in. And so I think what education has taught us, right, it's a really sort of mutual exchange between teacher and student. We're all learning from each other, is that we can be open books and we don't have to strictly, ride this classical lane, right? Like we have the technique, we know our scales, we know our etudes, we can hear rhythm, right? We can hear pitch. And when we take all of these ingredients and put them together, anybody can make music, right? But you're responding to people, you're responding to how they feel, right? You're responding to the times. We get asked a lot, like, how are you guys composing this original music? Are you living in the same world we're living in? Because it's a lot going on, right? And so we draw inspiration from all of that, the good, the bad, the high, the low. And it's all of those experiences together that really like help form our sound in the music that we play.
Woo! And that's what they do. And you gotta listen to it. You have to listen to what they do. So Elise, for you, before I get into the new music and stuff like that, you talk about teaching and being music teachers. I'm a teacher, and I run an English department here in Detroit. And when that's what you do when you drop out of Juilliard. So so Elise, for you all, when you see young people, a lot of the times my students, I'm going to be real talk. My students here in Detroit, they don't think that they have the ability to be a violinist, violist, and cellist. The girls of color, the boys of color that are here in Detroit who don't have access to programming that is going to support them to be able to go to some schools, they don't have schooling here for it. They may feel like it's a rich person's thing. It's for rich people that have means. How do you guys talk about that? And how important is the representation that you all share on stage when you get up there and see an audience of people who have not been exposed to what you do?
I grew up here in DC where I was represented. My first teacher was a Black man. My first cello teacher was a Black man. I grew up in DC with a lot of Black teachers, a lot of Black educators. So I didn't understand what you're asking until later in life. And I must say, when we get on stage and we perform and when we do our meet and greet and students come to us and parents come to us, just so thankful that they see three Black women up there. It's overwhelming sometimes. And it makes me very proud to have, when you start all of this, when you're young, you're considering quitting, especially when you get to high school. Listen, when you start at a very young age, when you get to high school, you're a little too cute for the violin or the cello, or you're a little too cute for it. So you start questioning, and your parents are the ones like, you better stay on track. And it makes me so grateful that I had parents that were adamant about me sticking with this. And it's a pleasure to be a representation of a Black string player and a successful Black string player, so that my little babies can see this can be you. This doesn't stop at a petting zoo. You can study, you can learn, you can go far. Actually, you can do whatever you want. And I think sometimes, I remember some of my teachers. First of all, I had great teachers, but you do have some in the bunch that, kind of tell you, oh, you do that, or I'm not sure you can. And that's just the worst thing we can do to our students, is to say you cannot do something. And so we do talk about representing, our culture, representing us. And like Don said, part of what we do in the classroom, we give them their music on these instruments, because these instruments are not limited to a certain period in time. These instruments are for all of us, for any time we're in, for us to enjoy any genre of music we want to enjoy. And so I'm highly inspired by my kids. I'm teaching high school right now in college, and I was teaching middle school before. And it gives me so much pleasure to be an educator of our children, and of children of this generation. There's so much they need. And if we can give a little bit through music, show love and care and consideration and compassion through music, we're doing our part. I'm honored to be given this job.
I get it. As a 7th grade teacher in the only alternative school in Detroit, I say, let's amen. When you'll come to Detroit, I'm dragging you to my school.
Come on.
Let's go. So Kendall, come on now. So when you we're going to get to the new music. I just want to say to people who think that this is only classical and old music, and maybe it doesn't have soul and it doesn't have some swagger and something on it. You listen to what they do to these arrangements by the covers that they do. If it's Aretha, if it's Stevie, if it's the worship medley, and you want to hear Richard Smallwood done like you've never heard it before, like this is the kind of stuff that you don't hear when we talk about what classical music is, because classical music is whatever you want classical music to be with these instruments. So Kendall, what is the new project? You got a new song out.
Yes.
Let's go.
We have a new song out. It is titled Troubled Liberty. And to be honest with you, it's an anthem. It's an anthem. It's an anthem that when you hear it, if people want to talk about genre, I mean, we talk about genre, but music is fluid and string playing is fluid. And so it's hard to limit it, but it's influenced by the Negro spiritual, which is what we believe is the foundational form of music. It's the foundation of every genre, essentially. It's rooted in soul, but it's also rooted in a story, in storytelling. And I think when you think of any anthem, when you think about even the national anthem, I remember a late vocal coach, one of the songs that she made sure all of her clients knew how to sing well and had their rendition of was the national anthem. And she also made sure we knew the story of the national anthem. And so when you really break down the lyrics and hear about it's about battles won and fought and bloodshed and all of this stuff. And when you hear about like, but our flag was still there, and you envision, she made us literally visualize, like, after all of this calamity, the lone flag, right? And so you see the story and you hear it. But we as string players and as songwriters, as arrangers, we don't have the luxury of lyrics, right? But we have the privilege of history, and we have the fabric and our ancestors' blood running through our veins. And so when you think about and hear Troubled Liberty, you do hear struggle. You do hear in the middle section, you hear this running. It's a sense of running and urgency, and you're not sure if somebody is running to something or away from something. And you hear at the very beginning, you hear something that sounds familiar, because I think great songwriters, and what we try to do with Troubled Liberty is we don't want to create an entirely original composition that no one could connect to. And so it does start with some rendition of My Country 'Tis of Thee, because that's what people grew up singing at the beginning of their day every day. I know I did, we did. And then you hear Dawn come in with Wade in the Water. And this is all with the backdrop of Elise's drone to this. I mean, it's just an A minor drone that's just so solemn. And so it takes you through this roller coaster of emotions, but it also has a bridge, just like a lot of great soul songs. We can think of so many, Earth, Wind, and Fire, and all the other music we play. There's a bridge, and that's a connecting point that kind of brings the verse and the chorus and the feeling of the song together. And we have a bridge that is bringing the hope, not just the struggle. The bookends are the struggle of the song that we hear, but the middle is where hope can exist. And the other thing is, hope can exist amidst struggle and amidst uncertainty and amidst triumph and amidst victory and amidst this like lost space that we're in as a society right now, is what I would like call it. And so we wanted people to go on that ride with us, and we hope that when they listen to the song and watch the music video, that they examine what Troubled Liberty feels like in their own locus, whether that's their work, their children, and how they, their parenting style, whatever it is, their community, their church, whatever it is. we just want people to be reflective, and we hope we've accomplished that.
I love that. That's a beautiful answer. Dawn, you get the controversial question. Are you ready? Uh-oh. She's ready.
I'm
The,
nervous.
no, it's not. I swear. Okay. It's called Troubled Liberty, and we are living in
Yes.
unparalleled, scary times. I mean, you all are in
Yes.
DC watching
Oh,
the wild west that it become.
yes.
Is it scary? It's a political statement. I mean, the song is a
Yes.
political statement. There's no words,
Yes.
but the feeling, the journey, the way it composed, the opening of it. 13-second
Yes.
clip by Nikki Giovanni talking about how you all are like
Yes.
hidden figures, changing. You
Yes.
know, is it scary to be out with no words? You're saying a
Yeah.
lot. Was there
Ab-
fear and a conversation amongst the three of you to put this out?
You know what's so interesting, Robert, is that the three of us are women of faith, and where faith exists, fear cannot. And so this was a total faith walk, a total faith project for us. And then when you compound that with the introduction from Nikki Giovanni, who is now one of our ancestors, and we felt this spiritual connection to our ancestors throughout this entire writing experience. And so when you couple the faith with sort of the encouragement and the warmth and the really solid footing of our ancestors, and then compound that with our families and our communities and all of the people who work so hard to bring this project to life, we can't be fearful because we have such a community of support. And when we think about the future, we talk so much about arts education and we talk so much about our children. We have to show them how to move boldly throughout this world. Of course, there are moments where we might be terrified, but that feeling immediately vanishes when we step into our faith. We pray together, we pray with our students, we prayed over this project, we pray in the studio, we prayed at the video shoot. And I don't even, I hate to even mention this, but there was trial at the video shoot where we shot at the monument with the historic Martin Luther King Jr. monument. I can't tell you how many times we were harassed by local law enforcement. And so my children were present at that shoot. There's a piece of the video where you see me walking towards the monument, holding my 3-year-old son and my 12-year-old daughter. They were there to witness all we had to go through to bring this project to life because we believed so much in it. We were willing to do anything to bring this project to life because it's so much bigger than us. And I'm actually grateful that God has placed us in the nucleus of all of this turmoil that exists in America and in our country and in our city because he's using us and we are allowing him to use us. And we submit to that. We surrender to that. We have hope in that. We have comfort in that. And it is the most peaceful feeling. And that is a peace that really surpasses all fear and all knowledge of this world and things that we may come to understand because we're living in a spiritual space. We're actually beyond sort of the physical ailments because we're human. We feel it all, right? We experience it all, but we have to rise above. And we have to rise above not just for ourselves, but because there are young people who are looking up to us who we have to set an example for.
You got to listen to this, everybody. You have to listen to this and watch the video and follow them on social media and go see a show and share it with somebody. Play it for your class. I need music to play in the background of my classroom sometimes, especially on a Friday afternoon when I'm 3 seconds from, I don't know, quitting or going to a bar, one or the other, or both. Elise, so for you, for you all, when people listen to this, when people come see you and they hear it live or they're hearing in their home in their car, what is the takeaway? What was the message? What is the intention for people to listen to your new music?
You know, I hope after people hear Troubled Liberty, whether it's in person or via a streaming or the CD that will come out, I hope they can have a conversation. This is meant to continue, not to just hear this and then move on with your life, but really take in the state we're in right now as a society, honestly. It's the question of, so what's the action step now? I hope people can actually be bold and question, where do we go as a society from here? It may seem scary, but there's power in numbers. And the more people that hear it, hopefully the more people what, just pick up the what do you call it? I'm losing my words, but really just come together and hope for better, but really take the action and do better. Really come together and be united as a people. And I feel like that's what's kind of missing. And so after hearing Troubled Liberty, I hope people are questioning, hey, so what do we do next? Let's not just stop here. Let's not move on as we normally do. That's what I have to say.
Let's keep going. Let's be kindred spirits and family and support one another and go vote and stand up for the rights of every Kendall, go vote. She said, go vote. So Kendall, is there an album coming out? That's the rumor.
Yeah, so this is all, honestly, we're teeing everything up for our fourth album release. And so we have 3 out. You don't have to wait around for the fourth because there's definitely plenty of music out. There's other videos out, but I think this album is paramount to us because not only we talked about Troubled Liberty, this single, the next single, all of the videos, all of the content, even the press. Thank you so much for having us today. We're being very intentional. And I'll just let you know the title of the album will be What We Carry. And that's the title, that's the theme. And while the album, again, takes different turns and turns different corners and evokes different emotions and different feelings, we're very intentional with the order and the choices. We just want people to stay on the journey, but also finding themselves inspiration somehow. Your instrument may not be the violin, viola, or the cello. Your instrument may be your voice. Your instrument may be that you're an architect at an architecture firm and you're in a space where you can build minority housing and that's your passion, right? In a metropolitan space, but there's opposition and against, we all have something that we're rising against and trying to rise above. And so we hope people will continue to just be patient and anticipate also the next single, which is another original tune. We've been giving people covers. We've given you the Beatles. We've given you Michael Jackson. We've given you Stevie Wonder. But Élise has written a phenomenal tune that the world will be hearing very soon. And so we're just teeing it up on the slow build. We think, we're also full-time educators. And so we're doing this all. People are wives and mothers, like I've said. We're daughters and sisters, and we wear a lot of hats. And so we are very intentional when we put out anything. We want to make sure excellence is our standard, period. That's how our teachers taught us. That's how our parents taught us. And so as people are waiting, it's like, as it's baking, just know that we're preparing something that's quality and that we hope will stand the test of time. So What We Carry.
It's coming out. So we're going to follow on social media and stay up to date with all of that. I've kept y'all like too long, but Dawn, but I could talk to y'all for hours. Dawn, so for people that have never listened to you before, that maybe have listened to other string groups, who have listened to other people who do covers, there's many of them now. They're like very big on social media, etc. I wish I knew you all when I got married because my string group was not that good. Dawn, so there's some wedding group. Anyway, that's another conversation. Dawn, for people who haven't discovered you, what do you think you all do differently than what everyone else does? What makes you all unique?
Great question, Robert. And before I answer that, shout out to all the string groups who are out here right now. Like in this whole, the term, quote unquote, they're calling it like classical crossover. But I mean, you just see every time I'm on IG, every time I'm on social media, I see a new young string group that's out there playing pop music or playing hip hop, or a new young soloist doing the same thing. And so shout out to everybody who's just being so bold and courageous enough to like take that step into this sort of quote unquote classical crossover lane. But what makes the String Queens different is there is a whole lot of soul in our sound. And so, I've heard a lot of covers, wedding covers, where, people are just playing notes and rhythm on a page. They've probably never heard of this Coco Jones song before. They've probably never heard of this, I can't use Beyonce or this Jay-Z song, but like they just haven't heard of it before. And so it's hard to sit down and play it if you don't listen to the artist, if you don't have that in your spirit, if you don't have that in your soul. And the thing about the String Queens and the music that we play is everything is coming from an experience that we have had. It's coming from our soul. It's coming from our childhood. It's coming from the soundtrack of our lives. We're just having a good time bringing it to life in the form of a string trio. We are breaking all of the classical rules. in classical music, when you're playing a drone, or when you're playing something in the Baroque era, you're not supposed to use a lot of vibrato, right? And so we're totally breaking that rule. We're sliding all over the place. We're hitting our instruments in certain places to produce percussive sounds, right? And we're singing. And so there are elements where we're singing, and not to give too much away, but our band is all throughout our latest album and our newest tunes as well. And so we have a sextet, we have a rhythm section. And so when you just add all of that sound together, all of that soul together, all of this sisterhood together, it's just nothing like it. It's explosive, and we're out here to put string music, to elevate the role of string music in the nucleus of American society, because this is something that's quintessentially European. That's what people know it to be, and so we want to bring it to the nucleus of American society. We want to make it to the heart of our communities, Black communities, minority communities, to let people know, if you can sing it, if you've got a song in your heart, you can play it, right? You can play it on a string instrument, you can play it on a drum, you can play it, right? You just need a medium to make it come alive. And so we're here to help people explore that.
Let's go. I'm in. Let's go. I'm in. Élise, so when I buy a ticket and come see you this summer, or in the fall, or in the winter, or when you keep, they're making some money because they added people in the band. They got the rhythms. The only person I feel worse than for Élise is whoever's the drummer or percussionist, because they really got to pack it up. That's even worse, Élise. So, Élise, what is a live show going to be like when I buy a ticket to come see you in Connecticut, New York, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, Virginia, what LA? What are we going to see?
Honey, you're going to have a great time. Okay. You're going to get some great storytelling. You must come with a great voice. And I shouldn't say with a great voice, come with your voice. Go ahead and get your lemon and honey, whatever you need before you come, because you're about to sing, you're about to tap your toes, you're about to clap your hands and snap your fingers. It is a party. So come. And some people, do you know what, Robert? People come really dressed up.
Okay.
So they might want to come a little dressed up like a queen, and be ready to really get down and party with us. They're going to be singing, they're going to be laughing, they're going to have a great time. They'll find new seatmates that they didn't know before. Now they're friends, because it's that good of a party. It's really about family. Once you enter the auditorium with us, you are now family. And we hope that you feel it, and we hope that the person next to you feels the energy, and you guys just walk out arm in arm. Of course, not literally, but just feeling the love, feeling the joy. Our mission statement is to create musical experiences that inspire diverse audiences to love, hope, feel, and imagine. And honestly, that's what it feels like. When we leave, that's what it feels like. And it's such a great feeling when you set out to do work to bring people together and you see that. So, not to bring it down, it's going to be a party. I want to bring the energy back up. It's going to be a great party. And I'm excited. Every time we step on stage, I'm excited for the new group.
Let's go. Well, this queen's going to be there, and I'm coming to see y'all.
Come on.
Come on, Robert.
I have a really beautiful 6'4", beautiful Black husband too, and he is a queen. He comes.
Y'all come together. Come together.
He puts my fashion to shame, sad shame. So
Yes,
we're going to
bring
come. We're going to look. You've seen them from everywhere, from Carnegie Hall to the Hollywood Bowl. They performed for presidents and icons and legends, from Whitney to Aretha to my girl Lettucey, to people across this country. Now they're together. They're bigger and stronger than ever, and they're coming across the country with brand new music that is going to move and inspire you, that this country needs more than ever. So bring your friends, family, and loved ones, and go see the String Queens and listen to them wherever music is heard. Congratulations to you all. I loved you all. You are so much fun. Your energy is infectious. It jumps off the screen, and I wish you nothing but the best. Thanks for being here with me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Robert. We had a great time.
Robert.
You're so fun.
You all are fun.
We'll do it
So
again.
fun.